Welcome back. Today we are jumping in to Copilot and Excel. Excel is one of the most important bits of software that Microsoft produce. Add Copilot in and this can really make a difference to how you're working. We're going to start with some very basic stuff and then we're going to move on to intermediate reporting and then finally into the advanced modeling, scenarios, documentation, etc. By the end, you'll know how to use Microsoft Copilot to clean data, automate reports, build charts, run what-if scenarios, and summarize complex models. Let's get into it. So here we are in Excel, and as you can see up on the right hand side we've got Copilot here. Now here I've got a whole set of messy data. Imagine that you just downloaded this from your CRM and it's sales data, so you've got some various different things. All of this is dummy data that I've created from the Professor website, so none of it is true, but it has got sort of keynote speaking, that sort of thing. It's got a workflow. As you can see, there's some errors in the data. All the dates are different, the invoice number, revenue streams, etc. It's just all a bit messy. So what we're going to do is open up Copilot and say, clean this table, use DDMMYY, remove blank rows, trim spaces and highlight any missing values. See what we get. So Copilot's now reviewing the data, cleaned all the data, and it says download the messy file. So let's see, and there we go. It has put all the dates into the right order. It's put yellow blocks in where there are bits of data missing, so you can go through and check all of those, quantities, etc. So from that messy data, say you downloaded it from a CRM system, etc. From that messy data, it is made all the dates right and it's highlighted all those areas that are wrong. I think it's pretty useful. Let's move on. Okay, now we've got our clean data. You've got to make sure that autosave is on, otherwise Copilot doesn't work for some reason. It seems to be going somewhere else. So we can chat with our data. So what I want to do here is create a summary report, total sales, average sales value, sales by region, and short paragraph for the manager. And it's looking at this data here. Here's your short summary report. Headline figure, total sales 75,000, average sale value 688 across 109 transactions. Make this bigger so you can see it. Sale by region, Ireland, EU, UK, other, unknown, blank, because we know they've got some data. We even have a graph and the sales by region. Very cool. Very quick way to have a look at your data and get some information out of it quickly. Really, really good. 109 transactions. Let's move on. Okay, now we're going to say create a bar chart of monthly sales with a trend line and add a one-sentence explanation. So say I wanted to drop something into a PDF or into a presentation. Then I've got this data. Rather than going through and creating the bar chart myself and messing around with all the numbers and the setting up so that it worked, etc. Here we go. We have a bar chart. We can copy it. We can paste it. Let's just have a look at a bit bigger size. There we go. So here are the months, January, February, March. So this is for a year. Trend line, getting a bit better. Monthly sales, really good. September, one sentence explanation. Monthly sales fluctuate with a downward linear trend across the period, slope of minus £1,000. That looks like a positive linear trend. As I say with everything, you need to check it because it won't always be right. But there's your graph. The graph will be right. The data will be right in the graph. So if you want a 3-month moving average instead, it could generate that as well. Really cool. Okay, let's move on. Okay, we're going to move on to intermediate level. So if you're comfortable with tables, pivot tables, etc., profiling is a strong upgrade. So first thing we're going to do, go into Copilot, we've got autosave on. Not sure why that was the most important thing, and I'm going to message Copilot and I'm going to say profile this data set, show duplicates, missing values, data types and outliers. So first thing to do, let's check the data, make sure it's right. You can see it's planning what it's doing, it's creating some code and it's executing, clarifying the result formats and crafting a response. We've got these common data types: object, string, integer, float. I don't even know what these things mean, but I think they're important. Look up revenue streams, missing values, nothing's missing, so the data's okay. Some duplicates, no, some outliers here. Quick take, clean data set, no missing, no duplicates, consistent keys, outliers appears economically reasonable, high value consultancy and speaking, watch outs, IQR flags. Would you like a one-click cleaning script? Drop / flag outliers on your rules, normalize data to ISO and add derived fields like margin, percent, save back to Excel. I can generate it now. Maybe I would if I knew what it was, but I don't, so let's move on. Now, I know I do, but I know my colleagues who use Excel all the time, who only use Excel for just about everything, they spend hours each month refreshing KPIs and charts and etc. So I'm going to say create a monthly performance report, revenue variance versus last month, region comparison, top and bottom products, add commentary. See what we get. Of course, this will give us a report that we can save and reuse every month. Below is a performance report summary. Last month, December, revenues £5,000, 6,000 versus November, or minus 6,000 versus November, so a 51% drop. Drop is driven by fewer high-value consultancy speaking items. Monthly revenue variance. I'm going to say, let's see this as a chart. So switch to a line chart. So it even gives you some year-to-date product mix for context. Guest speaking, consultancy, media speaking, YouTube ads, affiliate marketing, merch. Businesses service-led, speaking and consultancy account for 74% of year-to-date revenues. Strong Q4, October to November. December slump is significant. People on holiday. Recommendations. If you want, I can export this report to a new Excel tab. And here's a line. So we've got our data, so I'm saying switch to a line chart, highlight the months below target and make this presentation ready. So we've got some data, we need to do a presentation, we need something that we can show to our managers, so we want to put it into a PDF or we want to put it into a presentation, a PowerPoint for instance. And what's your monthly revenue target? GBP the same for every month. Pounds 4,000. I don't know what each month was. This is data that I've made up, so rather than real data. I wish it was real data, to be honest. I wish I was this busy. You've got it. So here I've got a chart. So I'm well above my target, £6,000. There we go. It has put my revenue in that's above target, and they've got all green dots and red dots for those that are below target. Here is my target, £6,000. Latest month, months below. Very, very cool. So you can just download that, drop it into a file for you. Okay, so let's try some modelling. Always useful. So model revenue with a 5%, 10% and 15% price rise. Show the results and explain the impact. So, I mean, this is a simple what if model, but if I put my prices up, what would happen? So it's doing some coding, showing something anyway. So it's given me a baseline, 5%, 10%, and I assume 15% is in there as well. Yep, there it is. It gives me a sense. Annual impact, total revenue, so get it to £95,000 with the 12,000. Impact explained. Softer months become better, but not materially. Recommendation: 10% increase is the sweet spots. Add 8,500 a year without meaningfully changing client fit. If you want, I can build a sensitivity chart, model different price changes by revenue stream, add this directly into your performance slide deck. Just say the word. How cool is that? So there you go. Modeling, what ifs, charts, identifying whether things are above or below target. And I've not had to go in and do any Excelery in this. I've just done it all by chatting with Copilot. Very powerful. Let's move on to the really big stuff. Okay, so we've got our file, and say we needed, for governance reasons, to explain the file, or an audit to say where did we get all the formulas from and what do they mean. So I've said explain the formulas in plain language. Show any formulas using hard-coded values, identifying consistent formulas across the table. Let's see what we get. Teach me to write my prompts properly. I said explain this formula. I want them to explain all the formulas. So it's now looking across all the tables for all the formulas. It's going through extracting the formulas, and then it's using its reasoning to explain them. It's very cool. If you were given a complex data set to work with that you didn't really understand, this is one way that you could get to understanding them. Got it. What each formula does. There we go. Sums the monthly salaries in the employee sheet where the role is assistant, returns the same amount every month because the sums by role, not by date. Junior editor salary, same thing. Total revenue. Here X is the row of the month. So for each month, row adds up affiliate, consultancy, guest speaking, media speaking, merch, YouTube ads. Tells what it does. Total salary adds the 3 salary columns. Total overheads adds software subscriptions, marketing, travel, equipment. Same formulas with hard-coded numbers. There we go. Same pattern applies. Inconsistent formula checks. Check the calculated the column through R. The same formula pattern for 12 months. Result. No inconsistencies found. Cool. Repeating decimals because senior editor annual salary is 32,000 is divided by 12. That's expected. Very, very cool. So let's go even more in depth. Create 3 scenarios: base, optimal, optimist and constrained. Using these inputs, show revenue, cost, margin and cash position. Add a comparison table and explanation. So we've got the scenario comparison. We've got the base with revenue of 82,000, COGS, cost of goods sold, 115, and salaries 55,000. And we've got an optimistic and then a constrained. Overheads, operating profit, margin, ending cash. What this means: optimistic grows fastest. COGS only applies to merch at 45%. Optimistic lifts margin to 40% thanks to compounding in speaking and YouTube. Cash 14-day lag. Optimistic ends the year with 37,000. Base 16, constrained with 6. All from a £0 start. You can set an opening balance to shift these. Very, very cool. Next tweaks I can apply, just say the word. Sensitivity table. I'm going to say add sensitivity analysis for price and volume. Clean price volume on top of the scenarios we built. 10 minus 505. How it was calculated. Very cool. So now you've got a multi-scenario model. Okay. Now, something I think most organizations never do. Document this workbook, explain the structure, list dependencies, describe each sheet and produce a one-page executive summary. Do you have those for every worksheet that you're working on? Doubt it. There you go. Workbook documentation. Your model is made up of 5 sheets. File you generated afterwards, scenario outputs, XLS sensitivity, contain derived results, not source structure. All descriptions below refer to this workbook, sheet by sheet. Assumptions, scenario drivers, employees, dependencies, clean list, one-page executive summary. How very, very cool. Okay, so there we go. Copilot in Excel, I think, is really good, really strong, really powerful. Of course, you can use the other LLMs within with Excel sheets, etc. But actually having it based inside the app, really good. So some tips: keep all your data structured and well labelled. Let Copilot do the heavy lifting. But I say this all the time: check, validate the results. Make sure you're happy with them, because Copilot, all LLMs, they can make mistakes. Use prompts that describe the actions you want in plain language. Don't rely on Copilot for financial decisions. Use it to accelerate your workflow, but not to replace your judgment. You're the person that makes the judgment about the data, not Copilot. Really, really important. So there we are. Copilot won't replace the need for you to understand how Excel works. It won't replace the need for your judgment, etc. But I think it will reduce the amount of heavy lifting, the slowest, the data management, etc., and make your life a bit easier. I hope so. Anyway, from data cleaning to a multi-model scenario, you now have a set of prompts you can use. I'll make sure that all of those prompts are available for you in a document that will accompany this, and I'll put a link down below. And if you want more step-by-step tutorials, don't forget to subscribe. I'm creating a whole package of educational material specifically for Copilot, so you can just go into it and jump into it whenever you want. So don't forget to subscribe and you get access to all of that. I've been the Professor. I'll see you soon. Bye bye for now.